I think when you reach certain levels of success, new opportunities open themselves up to you. And I think the key in life is to constantly be growing. And the only way you're going to be growing is to be challenged. No, it's incredible. And, suspect just like in the US, the commissions will come down, I've already seen it come down. So even though 8% is a real high commission, it was 10% when I first entered the market. So imagine selling a $3 million house and making 10% on a deal. I mean, how many of those houses do you need to sell in a year?
Yeah, that's insane.
So who are these people that are coming from California and buying a second home? Are they tech people? Are they finance people?
All the above. I would say most of them are manager, executive level if they're working for a company. But we have a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs that are purchasing real estate down here. Yeah. It's it's not a need, it's a want to have a second, third, fourth home. And so as a result, we have people that have disposable income, they have plenty of money to invest, and not just the money, but time. Yeah. They're more flexible and able to come down at a moment's notice, come down once a month. Some clients have their private jets that they're flying into Cabo. Cabo actually has the most number of private jet arrivals than any other destination in Mexico.
That's insane, man.
And I imagine a lot of those people are probably paying cash, which makes the whole transaction that much easier, right?
Yeah, I would say 6%, 7% of our transactions we do are cash and not finance.
Wow.
Any memorable stories that you can share?
Of any kind of a story?
Like transactions, real estate in Cabo.
Yeah, I mean, one funny story, interesting story, it might have been in the community that you were at a bachelor's party. I was invited to a listing appointment, and I went to this 12-bedroom house that was a vacation rental home.
Yeah.
And there was one room that I went to go visit, and it had no lights. And finally, with my phone, I was able to get my flashlight on, and the room was layered with mirrors. And in the center of the room, there was a stripper pole. So this house was a bet. You might have stayed there. I don't know. This might have been.
Sounds familiar.
So that was a very memorable. I listed that house. It was a partner dispute. So it was a very a court-ordered sale. That was a very interesting listing. And then I also am remembering a recent, 3 years ago, a beachfront home that I was listing and sold. It was a result of kind of a Bernie Madoff pyramid scheme. And the owner of the house was directed, and I was communicating with the U.S. government to sell the property.
Wow. Because he got locked up.
Yeah, so from what I understood, because I dealt with the government, so I didn't deal with the homeowner. He wasn't locked up, but he had to sell over $50 million of assets, and this $5 million house at the time, which is probably now a $10 million house, was one of them.
You're like, all right, 20% commission. Let's go.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. That one, I think, was just a 6%.
Got it. Wow. All right. It's interesting because I always used to say, as long as you have good sales skills, you could lose everything, go to a different country and rebuild, right? It's just the skills, you can't put a price tag on them. How did you were saying you were leveraging SEO, you're leveraging the online platforms. Is that how you built everything for the business?
Yeah, that's how I built it in the beginning. I would qualify my sales skills as average at best when I first got started.
Yeah.
And by generating a lot of leads, it allowed me to have a lot of conversations. And that was the practice that I needed to become much better at selling.
Yeah.
And then as a result of selling more, then more opportunities, more doors opened, and you guys know, and then it's just a momentum thing that the business just kind of took off.
Yeah. So, and if you had to paint a picture of your role in the organization and your wife's role in the organization, what are they?
Owners, leaders, creating opportunities and allowing others to follow in the footsteps that we have created, the path that we've created over the last decade, 2 decades.
Yeah.
And the better we are at doing that, the more successful they are and more successful our businesses as a result.
No, I love that. So how many sales individuals do you guys lead right now?
I think we're up to 86. I didn't get the latest count, like 86. We'll finish with over 100 this year.
Okay.
We have a lot.
Agents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing deals all over the spectrum. Some of them are brand new. Some of them are more seasoned veterans.
Yeah. So we have agents that own their own brokerage and decided, hey, I'm not up for that. And I just met today one of our newer agents who's a professional photographer with no sales experience. So we've really produced a set of systems that allows the most experienced to the no experienced agent to be successful.
Wow. It's interesting because people struggle doing that in the US and you're doing it in a different country, which is pretty incredible. You guys are saying you're helping everybody with the leads and then you're providing everything they need to be able to convert the leads. What is like key elements for any business owner like yourself to have in their organization for it to flourish and succeed?
It's having the right people, number one. The right people that have the right mindset and attitude, personalities to not be selfish, to be teachers, to be sharing of the knowledge. And so that's a big part of the Ronival culture. And from there, the experience and the know-how will come with time. And so we've recruited a lot of administration managers from other industries, notably the hotel industry.
I was going to say,
and a lot. I mean, that's what Rocio, my wife, comes from, hotel management. And hotel management, it's all about systems. It's all about procedures. It's all about the hierarchy. It's all about organization, SOPs.
Yeah.
And that's not me. I will say I'm a true salesperson. So I like to meet people. I like to make deals, but admin and organization is definitely low on my skill set list. And so hiring the right people that we can build the systems and to scale the company. So as a company, we have our call center, 5 people. We have our marketing team, in-house and external, which is at least 6 or 7 people. We have a full media department of 4 people, videography, photography. We have full property management, vacation rentals. We have W-2 income over 75 employees in our company.
75 employees.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How many?
So we have over 150. We'll have close to 200 people in our organization by the end of the year.
You almost have as many employees as agents.
That's right. Yeah. So going back to having the right systems and the right people, we can scale as a result, right? So the worst thing is having opportunities approach you and then trying to figure out, who do I need? How do I do this, right?
Yeah.
We build the foundation and we're able to build on top of it after we have a strong foundation.
I think he's cracked the code.
Because you have your hand in so many pieces and you're able to do that. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, not only are you in the best climate, you've got 8% commissions. You've got, and I was thinking about this too, like some of the best qualities for real estate agents are people that come from the hospitality business, right? Because they've got experience managing many different things at once, putting out a lot of fires, customer service. So you can take a lot of people. I mean, I imagine 80-something% of the workforce there works at the hotels or at the restaurants. Let's be honest, the Mexican population works harder than anybody else. And I mean that in like in the most loving way possible, right?
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, you've cracked the code.
When did you know it was the right time to scale?
I would say 4 or 5 years ago. It all happened organically, where I was a single agent brokerage and agents from the outside were noticing what I was doing and they were asking to be a part of it. And as I had to, for survival purposes, I had to start creating the systems and the CRM system, all of that. And as that grew over a couple of years, I realized, dang, instead of selling tens of millions of dollars a year, I could sell hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars a year, because it's just like, it's like Lego blocks. It's just building on top of each other.
Yeah.
And I've been forced organically to build this foundation that really allows it to happen. And also being surrounded by people that were bigger than me and are continually bigger than me, that allows me to see that it's possible.
Yeah. Who are some of those people?
5 years ago was a key move for me. I joined the Tom Ferry coaching organization. And so I'm a part of what they call the legacy team group. So there's just a few dozen of us. And that's one great example of being able to scale, because I saw other people scaling.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a big commonality amongst the three of us. I don't think anybody can build what you've built without having some proximity to coaching or just proximity to people who are doing what you want to do at a higher level.
Yes. And then you look back after a couple of years, you're like, holy, what did I just do?
Yeah.
Then people start noticing too, and they're like, what? You blew up.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I guess I did.
Well, I think it's too, you sort of, I imagine being in Cabo, you start growing your business and things are building and stacking on top of each other, like you said, and you feel like you've made some progress, and then you go to an event, like a Tom Ferry event, wherever they are in Dallas, Texas, or what, and you meet, and then you start realizing, well, I ain't shit compared to some of these people. And you're like, you meet like a Jill Biggs who's in our market, right? Jill Biggs, right. I know she's in Tom Ferry Legacy. Yep. And you hear what she's doing, the number of units and the GCI, and then you're like, wait a second. And then you start masterminding with that person, and you're like, all I need to do is flip this switch and hire this person and an ops manager and put some SOPs. And then, it gets even bigger when people are willing to share their SOPs, like a Mark Pattinson. Mark shares everything with us. And because we're not competition, we're just all people trying to do things in the same direction. So you go to that event and then you come back. I mean, we grew up in the Mike Ferry platform, but very similar ideologies. And you come back from those events and you're like, you start implementing what the other people are doing throughout the country. And then everybody thinks it's your idea. It's even better.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Nick. What do you think is your superpower when it comes to business?
It's both my superpower, but it's also a weakness, or can get me into a lot of trouble. I make fast decisions. I move fast. And so as an entrepreneur, a lot of opportunities require, like speed to lead.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about a buyer or seller. I move very fast. So my wife is very much the opposite. So we're a good balance. And yeah, exactly. So it's not an uncommon conversation where Rocio would say, what did you just do? Mm. Like, you didn't ask me. And so I make a decision and I do something, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So.
But at least you know the right answer at that point, and then you can move on with the right one.
Right. And I feel like there's very few mistakes you can make that you can't
undo.
And then it's a great learning experience, right?
Sure. Yeah. No, absolutely. I feel like whoever, Aaron, the one that coaches you, and Mark, he definitely teaches you guys how to multitask and like do multiple things at once.
Yeah.
Because it's like both of you guys have the same commonality of being, in so many different industries and so many different parts of it all at once.
Yeah, and it's cool. I think when you reach certain levels of success, new opportunities open themselves up to you. And I think the key in life is to constantly be growing. And the only way you're going to be growing is to be challenged. And, if you, an individual agent, if you're selling X million and you sell 2 times that amount, that's cool. That's amazing. But if you can start doing stuff in other related things in the industry,
yeah,
for me, that's where the excitement is.
Yeah.
And then to watch other people do what you did and you're a part of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Vertically integrate your business where you can stack the same thing, but just different parts of it. It's just a no-brainer when you're able to scale at that level too.